So we just heard from John's Gospel, Reverend Amy's reading, and part of it we've been talking about in Atrium the last few weeks. And one of you guys, big guys, read this? You can just stand right there and read it out loud for me. Nice and loud.
Unless a grain of wheat falls to the earth and dies, it remains just a grain of wheat. But if it dies, it produces much wheat.
Okay. Unless a grain of wheat falls to the earth and dies, it remains just a grain. But if it dies, it produces much wheat. So in preparation for today, in Atrium 1, we've been planting wheat seeds for the last few weeks. So I want each of you guys first to just take one wheat seed and let's just see what that looks like before it's been planted. Madeline, can everybody get one? And just sort of describe it to me. What does it feel like and what does it look like? Yeah, thanks. Can somebody give me some words? What do you feel? What is it?
It's very, very small.
Very small.
It's smooth on one side and then kind of rough on the other.
Okay, smooth and kind of rough.
On kind of pointy.
Okay. And it's kind of hard, huh? It's not quite as small as a mustard seed. We all know about mustard seeds in the atrium, don't we? They're the tiniest seed. This is bigger than a mustard seed. So the last 3 weeks, we planted these seeds. Just last week, I think Madeline, you planted some seeds, huh? And Julia planted seeds. So what we're going to do today is look at what happened 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, and 3 weeks ago. These seeds were planted. And look at what happened to the seed. Madeline, do you want to come up here and help me with the one of the ones that you planted? We're going to take the seed, we're going to pull one of these seeds, uproot it, and see what happened in 1 week. I'm going to just pull one up very gently, pull the whole thing out. Yep, dirt and everything. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Okay. I still see a seed. You see the seed right there? The seed is attached to the root, and it still looks very similar, although it's getting a little softer. Do you want to touch it? It's a little bit softer. It's been sitting in wet dirt all week, but the seed is still there. Do you want to pull one, Julia, from here? These were planted 2 weeks ago, although they grew a little more slowly. I'm not quite sure why. Oh, there's still a seed there too, isn't there? Is it a little bit, is it falling up?
It's mushy.
It's mushy. Okay, it's a mushy seed. These were planted 3 weeks ago. Do you want to pull one out, Simon?
Sure. It's gone.
It's gone. The seed's gone. It completely. Do you want to pull another one to just see if they're all gone? Do you see a seed on there? Can you see? Here we can. Yeah. Here we can pass these around. Yep. So the ones that have been in the ground for 3 weeks, I'm gonna.
So this one has a slightly small one, but it's like completely mushy.
Yeah. So if these seeds continue to grow, if we took them out of these jars and put them in the ground, what do you think would happen?
They grow to wheat.
Right. And here we have what wheat looks like once it's grown and dried. And what do you notice about these, each of these stems of wheat?
They're pokey.
They're pokey, but what are these?
Seeds.
And there's lots of them, huh? So each of those one little seeds produces lots of seeds. Unless a grain of wheat falls to the earth and dies, it remains just a grain of wheat. But if it dies, it produces much wheat. I wonder what Jesus is telling us when he says those words. What is he telling us about life and maybe death? Any thoughts? I wonder. Simon?
That like there's kind of like life after death.
Okay. How did the seed show us that?
Because like it starts as just one seed, but then it grows into a much greater plant with tons of seeds, dozens.
Right, and to do that, what does it need to do?
Die.
It needs to die. It needs to get buried under the earth, and it dies. And then we're seeing the different stages of what happens. But eventually, each one of these, if we put it into the ground, could grow fields and fields of wheat. We could have lots of wheat everywhere. So as we celebrate All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day today, it's a good parable that we die but we live. When we die, we continue to live. I'm going to stop if you want to say anything else.
Just that the seed is very hard when you put it in the ground, and then it gets mushy, like Julia said. And then what we find is when we remember to care for these seeds and we pay attention to them, that there's so much life on the other side, and things have to die in order to become something else and give life. And as Maria said, today we celebrate that all things die. And that when we plant them, like we plant our lives, and we grow and we stretch and we build and we have these wonderful lives that stretch out to other people. Your parents were little tiny seeds, they were children, and they were planted in their families, they grew and grew, and now here you are. And the seed from planting and tending and love will go on and on and on and on. And this is why we celebrate the lives of saints, the lives of our family that have gone before us, at Dia de los Muertos. As soon as we forget that people lived, then they die. But a seed never ever forgets itself, because it is hard and is planted and grows and drops seeds, and it happens again and again and again. And on that life goes forever. And that's true for us too, with our families, with the saints and souls who've gone before us in the church, and for each of us. So here we are.
And also God.
And also God. How? What do you think, Rafa? How?
I think like so Jesus was God was a baby, and then he was very old, so he died.
And it goes on and on.
But he's still with us.